Where WeWork went wrong and what Neighborhood is going to do right. All right, guys, if you know anything about WeWork, you'll know that they grew at a breakneck speed. At one point in their life, they were worth $40 billion, funded by SoftBank. These guys were the cool kids on the block in all things real estate, a co-work space operator that were positioned as a tech company. But it all came tumbling down when they listed. Their share price plummeted. Adam Newman had to resign as the CEO, and it was quite a devastating story in the history books of startup real estate. The problem with their business model is that they signed very lengthy head lease agreements with big capex commitments. That meant that capital that should have belonged on the propco side of the transaction was being funneled through opco and into these assets that landlords actually owned that ultimately are just going to be depreciated over time. That capital, together with bloated head office expenses and a culture of just spending too much money and not being shrewd enough, I ultimately believe led to their downfall. Where Neighborhood is different is that we're like a hospitality company like Marriott or Hilton, and we generate our earnings through management fees. We sign management agreements for properties that we manage for and on behalf of landlords who invest capex in the right silo. And that's what WeWork didn't do. Our goal is to generate better cash flow for our landlord partners. And we do that by bringing buildings to life, by leveraging the brand that we've created, by connecting the dots across the city. Unlike WeWork, we don't sign lengthy head lease agreements or funnel capital that investors have given us into risky head lease agreements. We make sure that the capital sits in the right silo, and capital that gets funded into assets really needs to come into the propco funnel. Then alongside our management business or our opco business, we invest smartly into propco transactions. We buy buildings at the right price with partners who need an operational skill set to breathe life into these assets. And we move a 100 million rand building to a 130 million rand building, leveraging the brand and operations to do so. That 30 million rand profit is ultimately shared as part of an LPGP structure that we put together. So Neighborhood's value is the combination of our opco, which generates fees in low-risk deals, and our propco business, which generates net asset value and profit on the propco side of the business. Those two combined are the economic engine of the Neighborhood business model. So that's where we're completely different. And last but not least, we're focused on the future of living, because that's the category we see the most impact that we're ever going to have. One is an office, one is a home, and one thing I know for sure is that everyone needs a home to live in. So it's not a product you're ever going to get rid of anytime soon.